My Remorse Heart's Collage Scriptural by K.E. Mitu. Not intended in any way to explain the actual context of any passage of Scripture based on the header of each page, however, in some aspect can be rightfully applied. Scriptures have been pre-selected based on incidents reflecting a personal encounter with an intended or identified person, or to bring out unexpressed thoughts of the illustrator, me, of which the intended person can identify, if he is willing to. Not to be used in any biblical reference outside of the intended purpose. Just hear me out. I said days themselves should speak, and a multitude of years are what should make wisdom known. Surely it is the spirit of mortal men, and the breath of the Almighty that gives them understanding. It is not those merely abundant in days that prove wise, nor those just old that understand judgment. Therefore I said, do listen to me. Even I shall declare my knowledge, even I. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are differences of administration, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all. Just hear me out. For everyone that useth milk is unskilled in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. There exists the one speaking thoughtlessly as with the stabs of a sword, but the tongue of the wise one is a healing. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. O dilemma! I sleep, but my heart waketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled, for my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. I have put off my coat, how shall I put them on? I have washed my feet, how shall I defile them? My beloved put his hand by the hole of the door, and my bowels are moved for him. I rose up to open to my beloved, and my hands dropped with myrrh, and my fingers with sweet-smelling myrrh upon the handles of the lock. I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself, and was gone. My soul failed when he spake. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer. I value your calling, for which I was appointed a preacher and apostle and teacher, he said. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath set me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn. My humbling submission. Let a woman learn in silence with full submissiveness. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man to be in silence. But for the one that goes in for sensual gratification is dead, though she is living. allow me. Greet one another with a holy kiss. Rejoice with Jerusalem and be joyful with her, for you lovers of her. Exult greatly with her, and all you keeping yourselves in mourning over her, for the reason that you will suck and certainly get satisfaction from the breast of full consolation by her, for the reason that you will sip and experience exquisite delight from the teat of her glory, till death do us part. And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and whither thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest, will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more so, if aught but death part thee and me.